Hi, thanks for joining me and for enjoying my blog. It's fantastic to be able to actually crystallize all the thoughts that I've been having recently and to get started with my very first fly. The one I'll get going with, I don't have a name for it yet, maybe you guys can help me, but it's proven very, very successful down at my local lake. In fact, just maybe 6 weeks ago, I caught an 8-pound and 4-ounce rainbow trout on this little thing. So just getting close into the camera, you can see I've put a tiny golden bead on the hook. It's not showing good in focus, and I'm just going to make it nice and comfortable in the vise, and not too firm because we don't want to damage anything, but you do need to put quite a bit of force on when we're pulling everything tight. So I'm going to get started with just a black thread. You can see that's a size 6/0 uni thread, and again, just keep things as simple as possible. As you practice and the more flies you tie, the better things will get, and all of a sudden you'll see, even as my blog develops, I'll start off quite slowly, and hopefully we'll speed up in terms of just efficiency and accuracy every time we lay down new threads. But again, try and be perfect when you start off, because on your first cast you want that fly to look good, but don't worry if things aren't absolutely 100%. If the fish is feeling hungry, then hopefully you can tempt him. So we've taken the thread right back down almost to the angle where the hook curves at the back. Now I'm going to take some coastal deer hair, which, if the camera can pick up on that, short fibres, that's what it looks like in real life, and depending on how we tie them in, they should work very, very well. Again, sometimes, especially working with small flies, less is more. You want it to have an effect. If you pick up an insect in the natural environment, you don't find them wearing all kinds of extra clothing. The insects are quite simple, and they've got no extra pieces. They've got enough what their body is designed to do, nothing extra. So there's a tiny little piece of deer hair put together. Notice that I come in backwards on the fly, and that'll make itself apparent a little bit later. 3 or 4 turns to cinch it down nicely, and then I'll take it a little bit further back, let it hang down. Good pair of scissors, as I said on my blog, very important to have, and that way if you cut once and cut properly, there's no problems. Another thing I mentioned on my blog is this little jam jar. That's my rubbish bin, and if you get in the habit of always putting your trimmings into there, then you don't have to sweep up after yourself, and it means you can make one more fly before you have to run out and do the rest of the things that you focus on in your life. Okay, so we've got the hair pointing up now. Doesn't look very impressive. The reason why I've tied it facing the front of the hook at first is so that when I fold it back and really wrap it properly, that gives an extra layer of strength in the fly, so that if something's pulling on those fibers later on, they don't just automatically come out, because they've got an extra belt of thread holding them down. If you can see what's happening now, we're going to tie that in, and that's its tail. If you skip out that step, under most conditions the fly will probably last alright, but as soon as a fish bites on it or something, those fibers can just drop out the back. There's not much holding them in there. Okay, so the thread comes to the front. Now what I've done is, I've taken, for those of you who are embroidery enthusiasts, I've taken just some normal embroidery thread. I've stripped out 2 fibers, and I've got 2 different colours. Okay, so hopefully you can see the difference of the contrast in colours there. There's a light one and a dark one. You'll see why that's important just now. I'm going to wrap it in. Again, we'll start off in the wrong direction. This is a trick that I got from Charlie, Charlie, the man who invented the, his name's Charlie Craven, the Charlie Boy Hopper. I did an internet search once late at night, and I saw that he'd made these absolutely amazing creations. And then, as luck would have it, I found his book in the local bookstore, and he's got an absolutely phenomenal outfit. I think it's in Colorado. And again, on my blog I'll put a link to his website. He's a very, very highly respected tyer in the States, and he guides as well. He's got a nice shop in in Colorado. Okay, so we've taken the thread most of the way back. Again, it's sticking out the front. I think the way I've done that doesn't make any sense, and I'll have to edit that out. Cut the piece at the back, because we don't want extra bits. And then we're going to fold it back and wrap it down all the way to the end. Okay, so this piece is forming the underbody, which will give the thorax of the fly some shape and some body to it. The reason why we've got two different colours that we're going to tie in, see, I notice I hang it down at the end, at the back, just